morning, all of you. Today we are going to start with the one more concept of 2D transformation, that is rotation. Okay, last class we have seen about the 2D translation, how you can translate one object from one coordinate point to another coordinate point. So now we are going to see how we can rotate the object from one center point to another center point. Okay, so here you can see, let's consider any of the object who has to rotate from one angle to another angle. And just remember that the object we are going to place it in 2D plane. Okay. So whenever I want to move any of the object from one place to another place, then definitely I need the angle value. Okay. So here in rotation, I have to use theta value, and that with using that value I'm going to see that how my objects is going to move from one place to another place. So here all the objects will be in your 2D plane. So now let's consider the initial coordinate point of your first object is x old comma y old. I have written here old and new so that you will understand from where to where you are moving your object. And let's consider your initial angle of your object with respect to origin is phi. Okay, so you know, you are quite acquainted with these two terms, theta and phi. So let's consider the initial angle of your object with respect to the origin is phi. So now I'm going to do the rotation. So in rotation, whatever the angle I'm going to move, let's consider this one as theta. And one more, the new coordinate values whatever I'm going to receive after rotations, let's consider that coordinate values as x new comma y new. So these all are the coordinate points and angles which I'm going to use for my rotations. Okay, so moving towards the another one, next slide. Here you can see I told you that I have this x coordinate, I have this x axis, and I have this y axis. So now my object is placed over here, because here you can see what will be the value of this. This in x axis the value is x old, and in y axis the value is in y old. So if you want to write it, the coordinate values, you can write over here. The coordinate values will be x old comma y old. Okay, so this is my coordinate values of this object. And what is the angle you are going to see? The original angle or the initial angle is phi. You can see here initial angle is phi. Now next is I'm just going to move this object, or I'm just going to rotate this object from here to there. So whenever I will rotate the object, the new coordinate value whatever I'm going to receive, I'm going to name it as x new and y new. So let me write here what is a new value, whatever the new coordinate value I got, so that will be in the name of x new comma y new. So that is my new coordinate values, and whatever the angle it has been rotated, that angle value has taken as theta value. So now if I want to write all these things in terms of my equations, how it will looks like. So if I want to find out the value of x new, then the formula is x old into cos theta, this is into, okay, cos theta minus y old into sin theta. These things you have to remember. That is, you are not going to do the derivation of this, you are going to just remember this equation. Y new will be x old into sin theta plus y old into cos theta. So this is the formula which we are going to use. So now we will just see in the next slide. Here you can see, suppose I have one object here P. Okay, the same thing I have been replaced with some other angle so that it will be easy for you to understand. So now my angle I have taken, the rotational angle I have taken as alpha. Okay, so here what is happening, the original point was P and I have rotated to P dash. So P, if it is original, if P is the original point, then I can take the coordinate values as x comma y for this. If you want, I'll just write it down. So let me take that one as x comma y. Okay, so it will be easy. Whenever you are writing, you have to write all these things. And if I'm going to move it, then definitely my new coordinate value will be x dash comma y dash. Okay, so now here what is happening, how much angle I have moved, whatever the angle you are moving, that you have to write it in the formula. So here alpha angle I have taken. So what will be the value of my x dash? So the formula is x cos alpha. Okay, x is my old one, old point. So x cos alpha minus y sin alpha, but and y dash will be x sin alpha plus y cos alpha. This is the formula you have to remember. And in the last time, last also I have shown you the formula, same formula it is. Here into sign is not there. Okay, so now if you want to go for the if you want to write it in the matrix form, how you are going to write it in a matrix form? So now, or you have to write the equation also. So you are getting your p dash value, okay, after doing the rotation and a rotation of your initial value, right, initial object. So the formula here you can see that p dash equals to r into p. Okay, where the p dash value will be in a matrix form, x dash, in the down you have to write y dash. And what is the value of your p? P will be x and y. Okay, in this form you are going to write it. What will be your rotational value? You can see here cos alpha minus sin alpha. So I have written here cos alpha space minus sin alpha. Then here sin alpha plus cos alpha. So sin alpha and this value is plus cos alpha. So this is the value of your rotation. So in this way you have to mention all your values whatever you are getting in a matrix form, in a 2D matrix form, and also in a homogeneous matrix form. In both the matrix form you are going to write. Okay, so now moving towards the next slide. Okay, so here what I want to do is on a particular point, I just want to move it. Okay, this is little higher than the last slide, whatever we have seen. Here we are going to rotate. If I will rotate around the origin, what will be the value? And if I rotate around one of the specific point, then what will be the value? Now you see here, this is my x coordinate, this is my y coordinate. I have taken one object here, that is my q. Okay, and on q you can see there is 2 point. The initial point is p and then the new point is p dash. So if I want to find out the value of my x in p dash for the new rotational value, what will be the formula? Then x cos alpha minus y sin alpha. Here I have just represented it as px and py, and here my p dash y will be equals to x sin alpha plus y cos alpha. This is the formula, and here the angle is also given as alpha. Okay, so if I will consider the q as my origin, okay, I'll just forget all these things and I'll just consider like this way, that this is my x-axis and this is my y-axis. Then in this way I have to take the formula in here whatever I have written. Okay, because I'm rotating around the origin. Now what is a question is, if I will make it as a fixed point. Now this q is a fixed point and my x and y coordinate looks like this. So if I want to move on my fixed q point, then what will be the equation? So here similarly I have to find the new point for p dash, so that I have noted here as p dash x and p dash y. So how I'm going to find out? So the first thing is I have to find out the distance. So how much distance it is covered? So now if the total point value is p and this much is x, sorry q, then this much value will be p minus q. I just repeat, if the total distance from origin to this point is p and from origin to this point is q, then from p to q distance will be p minus q. and I can consider it as px and qx. Okay, just to why I'm notifying all these things, because you should not get confused with x and y axis. Okay, which value I'm taking, you should not get confused. So here, if I want to find out this p dash x, then I have to rotate the object from here to there. So when I'm rotating the object from here to there, that time you can see the value of what is the point value of px x coordinate system of p minus q, that will be px minus qx. Now this whole total value will be like my x coordinate value, and py minus qy will be like my y coordinate value, because the distance is p minus q. If the distance will be p, I could have written here px and I could have written here py, but here as I'm moving from a fixed point, I got the distance as p minus q. That's the reason instead of px I have to write px minus qx. Okay, so now what is the formula? This cos, sine and cos will be in the same place. I'm not going to disturb it. Instead of px only, I have to write px minus qx into cos alpha minus py minus qy into sine alpha. Okay, then what happens here? There is a extra distance, okay, from the, because I have calculated from here to here, but I have not calculated from the original point to the p dash. So what will happen? This q dash qx value also I should add over here. So that is the reason I have added qx here. Similarly, for p dash y also, the y coordinate value of your q has to be added with your same value whatever you have written, the rotational value, px minus qx into sine alpha plus py minus qy into cos alpha. Please note down all these things. It is very important, because in your exam time you can get this q point as z point or a point, anything. That time you have to write this one in a proper manner. Okay, so this is about the rotation around a point q. So now we'll see the next slide, how to write all these things in a matrix form. Okay, here if you have seen cos and minus sign, sine and cos, same thing. If I want to write in a matrix form, I'll just write down here x nu y nu equal to cos theta minus sine theta cos theta multiplied with the old values of my x and y coordinate system. So x old and y old. So now in the same matrix, same equation, if I want to convert into homogeneous coordinate system, I have already told you that we have to write 1 for your z-axis. So similarly here I have just transformed from these things to here x nu, y nu and 1 equal to cos theta minus sine theta cos theta. Everything is same here, and the diagonal values will be 1. The rest of the values you can put it as 0. Okay, and multiplied with x old y old value with 1, because z axis we are considering it as 1. It is a homogeneous coordinate values. That is major the main thing you have to remember. I am considering here as your homogeneous coordinate value, and here it will be a simple matrix form. Okay, so these things are your difference in between these two like equation, these two matrix form. Now moving towards the next one, I have an example here. So in your rotation you are going to write only that much. So now you can see my example. I'll just go through that and you have to do this example. So you have one line segment with starting point 0 comma 0 and one ending point as 4 comma 4. So you are going to apply 30-degree rotation anti-clockwise direction on the line segment, and you are going to find out the new coordinate of the line. How you are going to do this? So now here you can see the given is, first what we are going to do is we have to rotate a straight line by its end point with the same angle. You can draw the diagram. You can place your starting point as 0 comma 0 and the ending point as 4 comma 4. So as the ending point is 4 comma 4, so that we are going to consider as x old comma y old value, and the rotational angle has given 30 degree, which we are going to refer or denote as theta. So now you have this theta. So what is the question? What you're going to find out? You have to find out the new coordinate of the line, which you can write down or which you can denote as x new comma y new. So after rotation, so this one will be a new value. These things are given. So now let's see how we are going to do it. So now here, if I want to, first I have to calculate for x new, then I will calculate for my y new. So for my x new value, if I will apply the rotational equation, what is the equation? X old into cos theta minus y old into sin theta. So what is the value of your x old? X old value is 4. See here also I have written x new equal to, okay. So you are going to find out the value of x new. So what is the value of your x old? X old value is 4 into cos theta value is 30 degree minus 4 y old value into sine theta value is 30 degree. So now just put the value of your cos 30 degree, that is root 3 by 2, and sine 30 degree value is 1 by 2. So just multiply and solve it. You will get the value as 1.46. Similarly, you have to find out for your y new also. What is the formula of your y new? Y new is x old into x sine theta plus y old into cos theta. So you are going to place all the values in the similar way and you are going to find out the value. Here 5.46 I got the value as y new. So now the new ending coordinates of the line after rotation value, you got this value and this value. So this is the way. There is one more way which also you need to do. So here alternatively how you can do, in a matrix form you are going to place, okay. So the what is the matrix formula? So the equation is x new y new cos theta minus sin theta cos theta into x old y old. So just put all your values here and just multiply everything, then you will get the same values, okay. Then you have to represent with the diagram with the flow with the like x and y coordinate system. You have to write if this is my object where the 4 comma 4 was here in x value, and in y value it was 4, but after rotation the x value became your 1.46 and y value became 5.46, and the angle is 30 degree. So in this way you have to write your answer. I have one more problem also which you are going to solve it. I'll just show you the answers now. It is in the same way I have solved, where it has been given the 4 coordinate points. This is for your practice sessions, and also you can do the diagram. Now let's come to the scaling part. This is one more types of your 2D transformation. So in your scaling, what happens is in computer graphics, it is a process where you can modify or alter any of the size of your object. I have told you that scaling will help you to change the size of your object, okay. You have to remember what types of things we are using for to do what are the changes you want to do for your object. If you want to do the changes, like if you want to increase or you want to decrease, you can go for your scaling concept. So this scaling concept is used to increase or reduce the size of your object. And also here the coordinate points of the original object has to change. That is the major thing. This is a viva question also. The viva question can be where which type of your 2D transformation you can change your original object. That time you can say that scaling, okay. And also this factor determines the object has to be increase or decrease. If the scaling factor will be greater than 1, then you can increase the object size. If the scaling factor is less than 1, then you are going to decrease the object size. We will see how we are going to do. So let's consider one object has been placed in your 2D plane. So now If I will consider the initial coordinate values of your object, so let's consider it as x old comma y old. So scaling factor, if you want to give in your x axis, so you have to represent it as sx. If you want to go for your scaling factor in y axis, you have to give the name as sy. So the new coordinate values of your object will be, after your scaling, will be sx new and sy new. You can write x new and y new values, but you are going to represent in this way. So how you are going to achieve it? So the x value will be, you have to multiply this x old value with your scaling factor towards x axis, and for your y coordinate value you are going to multiply with your sy. So this is the formula which you have to remember for your scaling thing. Okay, this is very important. So you are going to multiply this. Okay, so moving towards your next slide, here you can see I have the scale factor Sx and Sy. Okay. So here I have the object which I have placed. And here I just want, this is a P and Q. And what I have done is I have increased the size. PQ line segment was there and I have increased the size. So if I have increased the size, then P value has converted into P dash and Q value has converted into Q dash. So what is the original value of your P? That is x comma y. Here also similarly. So here what I am going to do, I have to write, I have told you here, we are going to multiply with the old values with the scaling factor. So if I want to find out the x dash value, I have to multiply my x value with the scaling factor towards your x axis, and similarly you have to do the y dash value and multiply the old y value with your sy. Okay, in other way how you can represent it, you have to write p dash equal to s dot p. Okay, you are multiplying, where this p dash value will be x dash and y dash. In a matrix form you have to write in this way, and your p value I have already told you, x and y in this matrix form, and scaling factor will be in a diagonal basis because it is in a 2D plane. So in a diagonal you have to keep sx sy, because this also x value, this is also y value, so I cannot place over here, I have to place in my y value. So sx and sy, so the matrix form will be sx 0, then sy 0, 0 sy. Okay, next thing is, here how we are going to represent it in the matrix form. So now this is the scaling factor, whatever we have seen, the same thing I have represented in scaling matrix. So this is my x new and y new is equal to sx0 and 0 sy multiplied with the old values. But the same thing if I want to consider in a homogeneous coordinates, it is very easy, as we have done many times already. So it is very easy to represent. Only in the z axis you have to place the 1. So x new y new 1, then same thing sx sy, in the z axis you place over 1, and the rest of the values keep it as 0. Then this one will be x old y old and 1. So this is a scaling matrix for your homogeneous coordinate system or representations. So now same thing, if you want to move for a fixed point, how you are going to do it? So let's consider this as your fixed point. But if I'll not consider as my fixed point, then what will be my new point value? P dash x will be equals to old value of px multiplied with the scaling factor. Similarly, for y coordinate system, p dash y equal to old value of your y coordinate system multiplied with the scaling factor. And suppose if I want to start with the respect to f, which is a fixed point, first I have to find out the distance. How I can find out? The total distance from origin to p equals to p, and from origin to f equals to f. So from p to f it will be p minus f. So how to find out the distance now? Comparing towards your x-axis, p dash x minus fx equals to scaling factor of old values of px minus fx. Just I have represented instead of px minus fx because that is my distance. Similarly, you are going to write for your y-axis. And in other way, you can say p dash x will be equals to take this fx to that side and add it with the scaling factor. Okay, so these all are the two ways of remembering your answer. So this is about your with respect to your particular point. Now, moving to the next slide, I have an example. Here you can see I have a square object where the coordinate points are A, B, C, D. You are going to apply the scaling parameter 2 towards x-axis and 3 towards y-axis, and you are going to obtain the new coordinate object. How you are going to do it? So here you can see what all are the given. The old corner coordinates of the square has given, and the scaling factor Sx has given 2 and Sy has given 3. So now here you can see the answer. For each of the coordinate values you need to calculate. So for coordinate first value you have to calculate. How you are going to write it? You have to write, let's consider the new coordinate for your corner A after scaling will be x new comma y new. So how to find out this x new? You have to multiply with the old coordinate with the scaling factor. X old equals to 0. Scaling factor already given in the question 2. So here you have taken 2. So multiply and you will get the values. Similarly for the y coordinate also you are multiplying and you got the values. So you got the new values as 0, 9. Same procedure you are going to apply for everywhere and you are going to multiply with the scaling factor. So once you will multiply, you are going to get you are going to get the new coordinate values of each corners. Okay. Once it is done, you can find out all the corners new coordinate values. Then this was your before the scaling, the diagram was looking like this. After your scaling, you can plot the graph and you can see it has been increased or it has been decreased. So this is the way of finding out your problems. And today I have completed with this rotation and scaling. Next class we will see the reflection and sharing. So now I want that you people has to practice all these problems whatever I have given you, and I hope you people have understood the concept. Thank you.